Hey, VC Jeff here. So, yes, got some stuff in. A couple videos ago, I mentioned the Facebook Super Metal Sunday event that took place Sunday before last. Well, the stuff has continued to trickle in. I think I've only got one item out there that hasn't made it in yet, and that's topic for another day. So let's go over some of this stuff because there's quite a few things here. This is Hellstar Burning Star. This is the edition that came out in Greece. Looks like it was released around 2012, 2013. It's in a very nice, very thick cardboard, shiny, insert with the lyrics and everything. Very well done. Very, very thick cover. It's got a couple demo recording bonus tracks. It is the guy who sold it put it in one of the fancy sleeves. Typical black wax. Anyway, so yeah, I believe this is actually the first Hellstar I have on vinyl, but it's a good place to start. Early. Anyway, this is one that I got. This one was still sealed when I bought it. Prophet. Now, I had this album back when it came out. This album was actually, because of the spiritual overtones that appear on this album, it was actually carried in some Christian bookstores. It was never really classified as a Christian album, but it's got a lot of positive type lyrics. So it was confused there, and I actually bought it in a Christian bookstore way back in the 80s. Anyway, picked up a copy of this, still sealed, and, yeah, sounds great. I have, their Cycle of the Moon album, which is like the third album, third. But anyway, so, yes, great stuff. AOR, hard rock, little AOR leaning, great vocals, great band, great production, keyboard driven. Just exactly what you would think from that type of look. Always loved that album, so I saw it, had to grab it. Now, finally, for the first time, and this is stuff that's hard to touch, finally got my hands on some Sabotage. Now, again, I got some of the stuff that was in the VG category. I'm thinking I'm going to give them a good scrubbing. They had a little bit of marks on them that overall I think I can scrub them into a good high VG, poly VG plus. Some of them have cover issues like a little dings and stuff. This one's got like looks like it was supposed to be a hole punch or something. But overall it doesn't look bad. These are the albums when you find them, they tend to be $60, $70, $80, $100, and I bought the lower tier just to have the VG version. And I also got Fight for the Rock. This one was actually the cheapest of the two, and another person who was selling one of these for $50 was like, yeah, I told him I got one from so and so. Yeah, I can't believe he was giving that album away. Again, VG dirty, kind of needs some cleaning up, but I really think, I listened to them, they don't sound bad even before cleaning up. So, little pops and stuff, but I think I can clean them up into a VG plus probably. Grabbed a couple rods. There was a guy that had these. Again, they were decent price cutouts, but I needed some rods on vinyl. I grabbed that one and Wild Dogs. Now it's funny, then when I went to that record store Sunday that I went to, that I showed in a previous video where I picked up all that stuff, they had this album. I didn't even realize it was reissued. It was on color vinyl. And I'm like, but I just bought it on original, so I'll take the OG press. So yeah, Wild Dogs. Great early stuff from the rods, and they're still around, and they're still, rocking it hard. Now, this was probably, I grabbed it. Somebody commented literally seconds after me, and another copy of this went up for a lot more, but I actually got a copy of The Ultimate Sin by Ozzy. And again, not the greatest condition, but not bad. I think this one too would clean up into more than satisfactory VG plus. Cover's got little dings and stuff on it. But really, it's not. It's just dirty. It can really be cleaned up and worked out really well. And then the last one that was from that particular set is this little import ditty Wasp. The inside the Welcome to the Electric Circus DJ copy. It is on nice translucent yellow, and it is a bootleg concert from '87. Got the OBI strip. I assume it's meant to look like it comes from Japan. I'm assuming maybe it did. Live in New York, 1987. And I will tell you, It's a bootleg. It sounds like an audience recording. Volume is pretty low. I have to crank it up. The vocals are very low in the mix. It doesn't sound horrible, but it's not. It's definitely boot quality. I may not even keep it. Because I can probably definitely move this along for what I paid for it. Now the next two were not part of the Super Metal Sunday, but they came from the same Facebook group, and they came within a day of Super Metal Sunday. This is Icon. I finally picked up the first Icon album. Now this is the Japanese pressing. Now, from what all I can tell, it seems like it's one of the originals from the 80s. Anyway, it looks, even the slip that's in it looks a little faded, browning, like it's older. It is, but the thing that made me wonder if it was a reissue is the fact that it looks like it's in like mint condition, aside from just a ding here or there. Has no OBI strip, but I wasn't concerned about that. I was concerned about the sound, and it was, pristine. I assume that that's what this is. It's an original, and it's just been well cared for. And then again, this one didn't come from Super Metal Sunday, but same type of thing from somebody. Now this is another bootleg Motley Crue, but this is a soundboard recording because it's from the US Festival '83. I have a DVD of that whole concert, so I knew this was going to sound good. This one came out on multiple colors. It's from Rock Brigade, and anybody that uses Godzilla is going to be in my book. It does have the OBI. It's considered to be on, you can see the little color there. It says it's on white vinyl, but I swear that looks tan to me compared to the white sleeve it's in and the white label. But when you see the other colors, there's like gold and other things. This is classified, I guess, as white. Yeah, and so this sounds good. The thing that's weird I found about this one is when it starts off, it's got this whole lead in that I'm like, why did they not trim that off? The lady gets up, it's really hot out here. Can everybody step back a little? We really need to step back a little so we can enjoy the rock and roll. Everybody wants to enjoy the rock and roll. Everybody please step back a little. We've got to have some breathing room. It's really hot. Please step back and enjoy the rock and roll. And then they start playing the house music, which is like 80s pop stuff. So it's something that reminds us, blah, blah, blah. And that goes on for a minute or so. And then that goes off. And then there's just silence. And you hear the crowd just kind of blah, blah, blah. And that silence is there for another minute or so. And then the intro music to the Crue concert. I'm like, why did they... It felt like 5 minutes of nonsense. They could have cut that right off the album. I don't know why they chose to put that on the vinyl. That was the weirdest thing about this. But other than that, sounds great. That was all, though. Yeah, like I say, one more thing coming in from that particular Sunday, and then I think we're done with that. That's all for now, though. Thanks for watching. Rock on and rock hard.